What does buenos dias mean? Good morning. Yes. So, all right, we're 10 minutes past. But 10 minutes ago, I could have still said buenos dias to you. That just means good morning. Okay. When class starts, I will start with buenos dias. All right. Once I remember your faces and names, when I see you in the hallway, I will say buenos dias. Okay. All of that good stuff. All right. Now, clase, please repeat. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
What does buenas tardes mean? Good afternoon. So as of 10 minutes ago, I've been saying buenas tardes, good afternoon. Okay, so that is our simple greeting. And then finally, clase, please repeat. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Now, buenas noches has two meanings depending on when you say it. Kind of like Hawaiian, aloha is hello and goodbye. All right. Buenas noches is kind of the same thing. If you're saying it at the beginning of something, it means good evening. Okay. So let's pretend this is a night class. All right. And our night class starts at 6 o'clock. Well, when the class starts, I will say, buenas noches, clase. Welcome to Espanol. All right. Blah, 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 blah. 3 hours later, class is over. We dismiss. And so I say, buenas noches, clase. As a farewell, buenas noches means good night. Okay? So depending on when you say it will dictate its actual meaning. Now, if I say, buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, what is the appropriate response? Close. Okay. All right. I know this is really hard. Just repeat it, whatever they said to you. Okay. So, buenos dias. I want to say.
No.
No. Okay. Never mind. Okay. I just say buenos dias, señorita, young lady.
Buenos dias.
Well, there you go. That's all you got to do. Buenas tardes, Jack.
Buenas tardes.
Excelente. Georgie, buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
There you go. Okay, just repeat it back. Now, if you really forget, if you draw a blank, all right, or hola. What's hola?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Yeah. Faith, buenas tardes, and Faith goes, hola. And that's fine. All right, that's fine. You're good. Okay. Muy bien. All right. Now, if you go down. Okay, skip one little section to where it says farewells, despedidas. Okay, you gotta remember from Dora. All right, adios. All right, say adios, clase.
Adios.
Yeah, don't leave yet, but adios. Okay, give me 25 minutes, then it's adios. All right. Adios, goodbye. Okay. Now, of course. If someone says buenas noches to you and it's the end of the evening, all right, you just repeat buenas noches, good night. Okay? Now, yes, in some Spanish-speaking countries, clase, channel your inner Italian. Ciao.
Ciao.
All right. Now, some of you might say, it's C-I-A. Yeah, that's in Italian. In Espanol, we go with a CH. Okay? Now, this is an FYI. When I lived in Argentina, I get there and everybody's saying ciao to me instead of adios or hasta luego or anything like that. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you people? All right. Well, just FYI, a little bit of history, because Santos also teaches history. All right. If y'all are Italian and your ancestors have been here for like 100 years, in the 1890s, people who left Italy had two choices. All right. United States, Argentina. Okay. Guess where your ancestors decided to go? Okay, well, the ones that didn't come to the United States went to Argentina. And I tell people that Argentina is basically like East Utica, but in Espanol. Because when I get there, number one, nobody looked like me. Okay, they look like you, kind of, or maybe you, all right? On occasion, a redhead, all right? Georgie, yeah, the dark hair, but the light skin, okay? And everybody, I was just like, what the hell? Well, yes, Italians immigrated to Argentina and then took over the population. And so, there were no tacos, there were no fajitas, there was no hot sauce. but there was spaghetti and raviolis and polenta and no offense to your Italian grandmas, but best homemade ravioli I ever had was from an Argentinian grandma who made them by hand. Now, of course, they add some local spice to it. Argentinians are famous for eating steak with everything. So instead of like meatballs, there'd just be chunks of steak, I'd be like, okay, I think I like this better. Honestly, it wasn't until I came back to the United States that I realized that gnocchi was not Argentinian, it was an actual Italian dish, because I'd only ever had Argentinian gnocchi type of thing. So yeah. Anyways, my point is that in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries, you do have the descendants of Argentinian, Italian immigrants, and they'll say ciao, okay, instead of goodbye. All right. So if you say ciao, you're okay, at least with Senor Santos, okay? Now, I don't always say adios. I might, and this is all Spanish speakers. Clase, please repeat, hasta luego. Hasta luego means see you later, okay? Now, if you say see you later in English, are you actually going to see somebody later? No, not necessarily, okay? It's the same thing in Espanol. If I say hasta luego to you, don't worry, I'm not expecting to see you again. Unless you signed up for History 111 or CF 100, then, hasta luego, I'll probably see you next hour or the one after, okay? But I don't expect to see you again until Thursday, all right? I'm saying this because there are a couple of phrases that, if you do add a certain period of time, okay, then you are expected, okay? So, mañana has two meanings, morning and tomorrow. In this case, it means tomorrow. If you say hasta mañana to someone, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? You're going to see each other tomorrow. You made plans for coffee or breakfast or whatever.
So, how does change
without it, it's just the regular, even like in English, with the line, with the squiggly line, it's nya. Yeah. Like canyon? Yeah. Yeah. Okay? So that would be mañana, not manana. All right? So you expect to see someone tomorrow. Okay? I expect to see y'all on Thursday. Just FYI, the word for Thursday is jueves. So when I dismiss you in about 10, 15 minutes, I will say, okay, clase, hasta jueves. See you Thursday. Because that's when I would like to see you again. That's when I expect to see you. Okay? Salud. Maybe Jack here says, Santos, I got some issues with you. Can I talk to you? I know, your office hours are over. They were this morning. And I say, well, you know what? My afternoon class ends at 3:30. So come by to my office at 3:30. So when I say adios to Jack, I will say hasta, I'll teach you how to tell time, hasta las 3:30. See you at 3:30, okay? So for those cases, yes. I didn't do it. For those cases, yes. You are being very specific, okay? Otherwise, hasta luego, just see you later, okay? There's a couple others, okay? Hasta pronto just means see you soon, okay? I rarely say that one. Sometimes I will say nos vemos. Literally, it means we'll be seeing each other, but also see you later, okay? Nos vemos, all right? So people are like, adios, Santos. I'm like, okay, nos vemos. All right, we'll see you later, okay? Preguntas on those. All right, then I've got just one or two more things, okay? If you go to the far right on page 3, okay? And I hate that I have to keep resetting this, okay? In English, when you are speaking to someone, all right, we use the word you to address them, okay? I want you to write this down, okay? I need you to open your book, okay? You, all right? Even if we don't actually say it, okay? I want to say Carson. Oh, you're Carson, so you're Ashton. I knew there was a Carson somewhere. All right, it's the first day, give me a break. If I want to say, Ashton, be quiet, all right? I'm saying you be quiet, even if I don't say the word you, okay? Now, in Espanol, along with a couple, okay, that's disconcerting, there we go. In Espanol, okay, we have different forms of you depending on whom you're speaking to, okay? Those of you that have taken Spanish before, all right, help me out. What does tú mean? You. What does usted mean?
Your.
Still you. They both mean you. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. Wait till we get to the plurals. All right. They both mean you, but we use them differently. Does anyone remember?
What is
Yes, formal and informal. Okay. Now, this is informal. I'm going to put INF. This one is formal. I'm just going to put an F. Okay. So what do we mean? Okay. Well, informal. Okay. Numero uno, friends or family. Okay. If you're best friends, you would speak to each other informally. Okay. Me and Jack are BFFs now. Okay. I know we've only known each other for about an hour. All right, but we are BFFs. Okay. Someone that you've been close to your entire life. I'm trying to find Señorita Santos, Lorena, since we are distant cousins. We are family, okay? So we would use informal with each other, okay? Now, the word is peers, okay? What is a peer? How would you define a peer? Okay, someone amongst you? Okay, colleague. I like to define it as someone you have something in common with, whether it's age, whether it's a job, whether it's like a sport. The 12 of you have one thing in common, at least as of now, for the next 14 weeks. And what is that? Espanol, yes. Okay, so, Jack, do you know Ashley?
I do not.
You said no.
No.
All right, Ashley, did you know Jack? No. Okay, but the fact that, number one, they're in the same class. Number two, you guys look pretty similar in age. All right, like 18, 19?
18.
Okay, close enough. I was going up, but close down. All right, but yes, I mean, I know you're like, I'm 18, dude. You know, shut. To me, you guys are the same. All right, basically, you're like 30 years, like background. Okay, so yeah, so that's like two things they kind of have in common. All right, so they're peers. So even though they don't know each other, okay, they're not friends. No, not like me and Lorena. Okay, no relation. All right, they can address each other in the familiar. Okay, now, anyone who is visibly younger than you. I'll do that. Okay, so once again, Jack says, I'm 18, you're only 17, right? No, you guys are basically the same age, okay? Senor Santos, on the other hand, I'm 52, all right? Yeah, you two are babies, okay? Except, no offense, but you are, all right? Even if I don't know you, even if, whatever, you're not Jack, no offense, you're not my friends. With the exception of Lorena, we're not family, okay? We're not peers or anything like that. I guess if we work together, I don't know. But no, okay, I can talk to you in the informal, without knowing anything about you because I am literally more than twice your age. All right, you are visibly younger than me. Okay, for you guys, I suppose if a 10-year-old child were to come up to you, okay, yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm older than this kid. All right, so yes, you can talk to them in the familiar. Okay, the next one. Okay, I have to do a drawing, and if you think you can draw better, feel free to take over. If someone is in a, I want to say lower position, thank you, gracias, status. I'm the teacher. I know everything about Spanish. You guys are the students. I speak to you in the familiar, okay? Jack is the doctor. Y'all are his patients. He is the medical expert. He speaks to you in the familiar. Georgie is our priest. We go to his church and we are his parishioners. He is the expert on God and religion. So he speaks to us in the familiar. Okay, you get the idea. All right. So yeah. Okay. In that regard, you know, hell, Georgie's my priest, and he is literally visibly younger than me, but because he's the man of God, all right, like he can talk to me in the familiar. You know, Jack is my cardiologist, or no, he's my orthopedist here. Yeah. All right, and so yes, you know, because he's the expert in medicine, he's going to tell me how much longer I need to be on the damn crutches. He would speak to me in the familiar, all right, type of thing. All right, so that kind of goes on. And yes, like one of my cardiologists, I swear to God, he looks 12 years old. They tell me he's 32, but he looks 12. All right, and I'm like, who's the 12-year-old? They're like, oh, Dr. Wilson? No, he's 32. No, he's 12. He looks 12. You know, type of thing. But, you know, medical expert. Okay. Finally, and my favorite one, ran out of room. Animals. Typically, you talk to your dog, your cat, your hamster, your turtle, whatever exotic animal you might own, your ferrets, in the familiar. Okay, I've actually heard people use the formal with their pets. We're just like, that sounds weird. All right, you know, but he's Mr. Snugglebottoms, you know, it's Mr. You know, I got to use the formal. No, you don't. Okay, now, usted, the informal, is the opposite. Okay, so friends and family, what would be the opposite? Strangers. Okay, you don't know each other. All right. Yes, they're peers, so they could use the familiar if they really wanted to, but because they literally just met, you know, like 70 minutes ago, they can still use the formal, okay? We don't have an equivalent for peers, but anybody who's visibly older, okay? So once again, poor Ashton here isn't going to use the usted with Jack because he's a year older. You guys look the same, all right? Senor Santos, on the other hand, is 30 plus years older than both Ashton and Jack, so they will use the formal with me. Typically, it's seen as a sign of respect, okay? Which is why it's done. Actually, I was about your guys' age when like some kid used usted with me for the first time, and I'm like, damn right I'm usted. All right, child. Yeah, that's right. You will show deference. Type of thing. Okay, so someone who is visibly older. Okay, and of course, just like this. Okay. Yeah, I know. Come and draw if you can do better. I know my stick people aren't that good. Okay, so this is why. Okay, as his patient, I would use the usted form with my orthopedic person, my surgeon, Jack. Okay, because he is the expert. Okay, as my priest, when I come to confess, Georgie, all right, he is the authority, he's God's whatever, so I would use usted. Okay, as your teacher, as the king of all Spanish, all right, you as my students would use usted. Okay, type of thing. All right, so see, I got two. I'm not just like way over than y'all, but I'm your teacher. Okay, type of thing. All right. Now, the only other thing we got, and I guess I'll clump it in here. All right, any kind of business transaction or relationship. So like when I go to Target and I bring my stuff up to the cashier and they're always like, did you find everything you were looking for? Did you find everything that you said was looking for? Okay, you would use the formal, okay? And it's not because like I'm older or whatever, Emma, she doesn't know I'm a teacher, or whatever. But, because I'm a customer, and I would treat her as you said as well. All right? Yes, she's visibly younger than me. I don't know if she's my student because obviously I can't even remember her name, so I forget she's in my class. All right? But because we are conducting a business transaction with each other, okay, I would also use the you said with her. Okay? Like type of thing. Okay? Now, Santos, why are you making such a big deal? What does this have to do with everything? Well, because depending on whom you're speaking to will dictate how and what you say. Okay? So,